Thank you for joining us at Gumshoes Kitchen, where we are going to have a Kitten in a Blender. Very fun game, very fun game. 10 things you need to know. We got the box, we got the shelf, we got the blender. And we got kittens. But for now, his mouth is taped, so he does not bite me. So, what you want to do is you want to get your fallen kittens in the box. No, you want your kittens in the box. You want their kittens in the blender. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to show you how much fun kittens in the blender can be. Here we go. Kitten out of box, across the shelf, into the blender. Now, kitten in blender, are you ready? Here we go for the blending. We have a nice blended kitten here. Now, that's some good kitten in a blender. You try kitten in a blender. Very good.
Now that we've covered the fun part of the video, I just want to break it down to you this way. So we've got Kittens in a Blender. This is your game. It comes nifty little box. You know, it's got little pictures and everything on it. Nice, sturdy, travels well. So compartmentalized. Your cards aren't going to be sliding all over the place. And so what I haven't really been doing is really telling you why I enjoy these games. And it just didn't dawn on me till now. So, yes, this game is a sick, twisted, demented little ball of fur, but it's a fun game. You can't take it too seriously. I mean, how often are you going to run across a game where you're trying to save kittens by putting them in a box, you're trying to blend kittens of your opponents? Now, in this game, each player has 16 kittens. 4 different colors. You know, red, which looks pink, green, blue, and yellow. My only complaint with the way the game is actually played, though, is that, yeah, you pick your colored kittens, but you've got no way of showing which colored kittens. So, Closet Nerd Games, if you go to make a new copy of this, or maybe you might think of an accessory pack where you actually do, like, 4 little miniature kittens that are little, I don't know, resin, but the 4 different colors of your kittens, that'd be awesome, because, you know, it would definitely help keep track of that. Another thing, these cards, yes, they're nice and big, but according to the rules, you're supposed to put 1 on the top of this box, 1 on the top of the other box, and then leave space in between for your shelf. Thing is, why not just have a sticker there, or, you know, something like that, to where you're not having to be bothered with this part. Only real complaint. But Kittens in a Blender is fun. You know, like I said, you get 16 kittens to defend. You get 2 movements per turn, which is, it could be a little bit better, but it works. Because you get to move, you know, 1 of the kittens, place a kitten, play 1 of the specialized cards. Now, specialized cards are movement cards. One is move any 1 kitten 1 space. One's move any 1 kitten 2 spaces. And then one's move any 1 kitten, or any 3 kittens 1 space. Now, just because the 2 and the 3 say move 1 kitten, or move however many kittens 1 space, doesn't mean you can't move the same kitten multiple times. It just goes, this is kittens moving from the box for turn 1 onto the shelf, and then turn 2 into the blender. Now, there are a couple things that make this game really interesting. And it's not just because you're blending kittens, because, you know, that's just sick and twisted, and, well, I like it. But, so, you have those. You have your 2 blend cards. You have standard blend, which, if you see a lot of your opponent's kittens in a blender, blend that bugger. Any kittens that are in the blender get blended, Any kittens that are in the box, so hopefully you've saved a bunch of your kittens, they get saved, and they get tucked underneath the box. And anything on the shelf, after the blend cycle is over, fall into the blender, because all the rattling just throws them in there. So, blend is a friend. Now, blend pulse allows you to do one of two things, which is very creative. It allows you to stop a blend, kind of like an electromagnetic pulse would, or it allows you to actually blend the kittens. Now, I will let you know that once all these cards are exhausted, game is over. So once you've used all the blends, pulse blends, done. Then that's when you count up, how many kittens were pureed in the blender and which ones weren't. Another thing that makes it very fun is you can hurt yourself but help yourself all at the same time. There are these dog in the kitchen cards. Now the dog in the kitchen cards allow you to trade hands with players to your right and left, depending on which way the dog is facing. If you read the cards, you'll see which way that goes. But say you see someone on your left and they look like they've got a nice hand because they have a lousy poker face. Well, then you have them pass the stuff to your left, and it just comes this way. Or no, actually, I guess if they're on my left, then I want them to pass it to right. If we're going clockwise. Crazy. But those, now at the same time, you can think, hey, I'm clever. And then someone across the table from you, shifts it the other direction, and you're like, you just gave them back their cards! What the heck is wrong with you? But they didn't know you had a really evil, nefarious plan to help blend their kittens, so of course they're going to screw you over. The game is 2 to 4 players, although it says 2 to 8, so I guess you could team up to help blend the kittens if you wanted to. It does recommend 8 and up. Yeah, I'd say that's about reasonable, because, little kids aren't going to get the whole... unless they're good with strategy, they're not going to get the whole strategy of making sure that their kittens are saved and all the other kittens are blended. They may just want to blend all the kittens. Now, I have to admit, I'll sacrifice kittens if I see that my opponents have more kittens in the blender than I do. Because it's not really... as much as I'd like to say it's not how many kittens you save in the box, it's how many of your opponent's kittens you can blend, really. Because if you can guarantee they've got a lot more kittens in the blender than you do, you're definitely going to win. Just plain and simple. In fact, sometimes you can even hold back your own cards to make sure that your opponents aren't blending your kittens. Now, this happens because when you mix all the cards up and you deal them out 6 to each player, you could wind up with your kittens, you could wind up with your opponent's kittens. This is another reason I recommend the little resin statues of the kittens so you know who you are. But I think that's about it. It's a fun game, but you've got to, you can't take it too seriously. It is just a game. You're not hurting any real kittens. In my video, no kittens were harmed, no fake kittens were harmed. So, try to get the most enjoyment out of it you can. Thank you for joining me, Chris, here at Game Gumshoes. Please watch the other videos, subscribe, like, even check out the ads, because, hey, that gives me money, which allows me to purchase games, or, if you have a game you'd like to get reviewed, send it to me. We'll check it out. But thank you for joining us, and have a good day.